I agree.
Mott's Mailbag. Send in your dumb questions and watch us give even dumber answers. Not Mott's Mailbag.
It is the group chat podcast. We have our Not Mott's Mailbag brought to you by LaFouche Concert and Events Club. Kyle actually is going to be joining us next week. He wants to talk with us about some things that the LaFouche Concert and Events Club is doing. So we'll have him on as a guest to promote some of the things that they're doing in the community. If you have a question, drop it on our social media. We put a thread every week to promote our shows. We take all the questions there. So let's jump right in. Coon from Vacherie wants to know, should a male ever purchase a ring for himself? Not talking about rubber rings.
This question was asked last Friday night. He keeps these questions banked, and just whenever we talk, he starts unloading them. He asked a ring, period. And I said, well, what about a rubber ring? I feel like dudes go buy that. He's like, yeah, let's take that out. Yeah. And I've been thinking about this since then, and I cannot think of a time that a dude should purchase a ring for himself.
The biggest waste of a purchase in my life was my graduation ring. I never wore it a second, and I can't ever think of a situation where I would ever wear it. And look, I'm proud to be a graduate, this, that, and the other. It looks foolish on me. It doesn't fit. It doesn't jive. So, yeah, I'm with you.
When I graduated, I'm kind of dating myself here, but when I graduated, my nanny gave me the option if I wanted a graduation ring or a VCR. I took the VCR.
Good for you.
So
that's a good decision. Stolen VCR at Walmart.
I've never bought a ring in my life. I know some people like to buy the pinky rings or whatever, but never in my life have I ever bought a ring.
Bado, a lot of attorneys are tied in with the mafia, allegedly. A lot of mafia wears rings. Would you ever buy a ring?
No, I only think it's acceptable on one occasion, and that's if you're buying your significant other's like engagement ring and you just maybe they have a package deal. I have an actual wedding ring that's like whatever, gunbarrel tungsten that I've worn 12 times maybe in 10 years. So I think that would be the only acceptable, like, oh, let me get my good wedding band as a purchase of a 2-for-1 kind of deal. And that would be probably the only time that would be suitable.
I had a phobia for decades of a ring on my finger.
Not coming off?
Not coming off. And my wedding day was probably the first time that I ever wore a ring and got it sized up so much that I had to keep my fingers together. It was a rough time for me.
Claustrophobia of the fingers?
Yeah, I got used of it. And obviously I'm wearing my rubber ring, which I could just easily bite off if needed.
I like this question. Dwayne from Thibodaux wants to know, would you keep high-speed internet if it meant having to use the bathroom in a porta potty for the rest of your life? Or would you go back to dial-up and do your business in luxury?
Easy question.
Yeah.
I'm keeping high-speed internet. Because here's the thing, dude. Look, okay.
I'd go back to a web TV to keep my current bathroom.
Yeah, but you're a king, what you call that? Yeah.
King Bidet over here.
Yeah, King Bidet. Here's the thing. If only my family's using the porta potty, ain't going to be all dirty and all full. Like, we're going to be okay.
You clean it, you put a window unit in there, you're fine.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And you have Wi-Fi, so you just take your time on your phone.
And this show wouldn't exist with dial-up. Half of the that I do in my life, shit, see what I did there, wouldn't exist if we were operating dial-up. I need me some Wi-Fi, bro. Like, I would shit on the ground if I had to.
So no Wi-Fi, Nick, just to have water shoot up your ass.
Porta potties.
I mean, when you put it that way.
But it's your porta potty.
Sounds a little Caleb Williams.
No. Dial-up can do almost the same amount of stuff.
No, it can't. You can't stream anything.
Give me Napster. I'll be fucking downloading a song for a month in luxury in my bathroom.
Let's try it out.
Mr. VCR over here was like, I love dial-up. Give me the AOL CDs.
Let's try it out for a week. I'm going to get a porta potty, Nick, and I'm going to put it between our houses right here. Throttle back your little rev service to 56K or 66.4. And let's see how long that lasts.
Raven in the chat nailed it. If it is your own porta potty, like, I don't want to use a fair porta potty for the rest of my life, but if it's my porta potty, it ain't going to be like, it's not going to be gross.
The question was so open-ended. That was my caveats. Is, can I design the porta potty? Is it like an outhouse? Am I the only one using it?
Right.
Can I put a fan in it?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want my whole. How regularly is it pumped out? Do I have to pump it out?
Now we're
Like,
on.
there's a whole lot of variables here.
There's sprays to put your stuff down too.
Can you put a fan in there?
Nick, we just talked about putting a window unit in there.
Okay. I like where we're going. Can we get
Yeah,
a
I'm
bidet
putting a window.
in the porta potty?
I better be the only person using the porta potty. I don't even know if I could withstand all my kids and everybody
I'm
sharing the porta potty.
There's no doubt if you call Blake Botto and said, "Hey, I need a bidet installed in a portalet," that within 10 minutes,
we're talking.
He's gonna have a bidet installed in there.
Now we're talking.
You might have to get a generator to run your bidet. And your
we already have a freaking window unit in there. We got.
I mean, there's bidets that don't need electricity. My fancy ones.
Why is a bidet such a deal breaker? Is that legit?
Oh yeah, Casey. Oh yeah.
I mean, just hire somebody to spit water at you,
or you just get a hose pipe into the porta potty.
There you go.
How are you going to order Amazon on dial-up if you run out of toilet paper in the porta potty?
We need Wi-Fi. Like that is the real deal breaker.
Dial-up could do it too. Dial-up might not load the pictures up, but
I think your VCR mind is totally forgetting.
I was about to say, dial-up was terrible. Like take 30, 45 minutes to download a 10-second video.
You wouldn't be able to load your Survivor League to enter your pick. Yeah, how are you going to watch Big Brother if you can't? The Big Brother ain't on regular TV anymore. You can't stream with dial-up.
You're going to have mail-in DTB orders, which may be next.
Ooh. Yeah. I guarantee you ain't going TikTok live on AOL 3-month free CD.
Tyrus just chimed in. Come on, Nick. Let's go for the rest of this show. There's a Google Chrome developer mode. You could simulate 56K.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll try that Sunday. I'll be
Sunday. Okay.
Can't watch any games.
True.
56K. So this is now becoming the diet.
Yeah.
How does Tyrus know that? Who lost a bet and found out that they have that?
Tyrus knows everything.
Yes, Tommy Tyrus knows everything in the world.
Why would you want to subject yourself to torture? Is that his guilty pleasure to go in 56K?
Tyrus probably did that to himself.
Back in your day, we had dial-up and VCR.
After we run out of this 50 minutes, I'm trying that.
If Eva doesn't behave herself, he's going back to 56.
That is a great punishment.
That is a great punishment.
Oh,
hey, shout out Tyrus. His daughter Eva plays in Victorino's flag football league, and she's
legit.
Good. She's very good, very fast. She took one to the house, and Liam Prejo on our team was trying to chase her. She's beating him. Reached for the flag, hit her feet, and she went down and scraped her knee pretty bad. But she was good.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
He was been in the DSP school for the past
years. While we're in the huddle, she's over there doing TikTok dances at cornerback. But yeah, she's good.
Emmett Brown from Hill Valley, California wants to know. You have a one-way time machine to the past. Wherever you go, you have to stay there permanently.
I know what that is.
What? I don't know what it is. What?
Who's Emmett Brown from Hill Valley, California?
I have no.
That's not Doc Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the Future. I thought so.
It's a
travel
back in time question.
It sure is. Yeah. What's the furthest back in time you could go and live happily with the technology and the amenities in that era? I can answer this one. We did have high-speed internet in the latter years of my college at LSU. But you know what we didn't have? Bullshit of everybody giving their political thoughts on Facebook. Facebook was still just cool people. And we didn't have all the TikTok dancing and all the shenanigans and everything like that. So take me back to when I was in college, 2008, 2009. You
can go back?
So what?
Is the furthest you would go back?
To be comfortable with the technology. Yeah, that's what it says.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I could go back to the 80s and 90s and be miserable playing my regular Nintendo, but I feel like I could live normally and not have to disrupt my life going back to college.
I think mid-90s for me would be
King dial-up over here, man.
Yeah, that is dial-up.
Yes, it is.
It was just a simpler time, fun time.
Oh, I agree with that in terms of I didn't have no responsibilities or nothing, but if I'm not going back to the 90s and being a kid, I don't want to be an adult in the 90s. If I'm going back to the 90s and I'm being the age that I was in the 90s, yeah. But if I'm going back as a 38-year-old, I don't want to go back to the 90s. Does that make sense?
The way I'm reading this is I could go back to the past, but I have to stay there currently. And with that being said, the furthest I could possibly go back would be the 80s. because I'm assuming if I go back, I'm me now. I know everything I know now. The 80s would be the absolute worst that I could go because I would need some gratification. At least maybe I'd have a cell phone, have some decent music, some technology, big box TVs, football's like prevalent. I could watch basketball again and stuff. Maybe make some money sports betting. That'd be awesome. But that would be the absolute furthest I could take it. Would be the 80s, knowing what I know now.
DSP.
Give me June 17th, 2018.
Very specific.
Yep. That was the day after my kid was born. I feel like I could go back. My second kid was born, Caroline. I feel like I could go back to that time, relive that time, got both my kids, my wife, and I'll be perfectly happy.
Give her a better parent.
Tommy's a solid ass.
No, I'm kidding. No, look, all kidding aside, I can't even about that. Tommy,
did you hear the story last week when we talked about not being able, if we didn't communicate for 40 hours where we thought we would, the other person would be? And I said,
I did not, but I'm assuming it's something to be with jail because I saw Aaron's comment and I'm trying to find that somehow.
So mine was you in jail for some public intoxication, and Caroline was pissed at me for like 2 days. She woke me up the next morning, Dad, I'm still mad at you.
For insinuating that Paran would be in jail.
Such a good little girl.
Yep.
How about the other, Tommy?
No comment.
Okay, fair enough.
They're expensive volleyball shoes.
Dude, I am ingrained in this speed simulator going back to dial-up.
Bill Ions from Lower Golden Meadow wants to know, what do y'all think of the time change gimmick? Are you guys tired of springing forward and falling back? This ain't 1776, damn it. Shouldn't there be one time at this point? The time that we have now is the time that it should be in December, is the time that it should be next March. It's the time that it should be permanently. We should not change times ever again. Now, these old people are going to say, well, the other time's actually the real time. I don't give a f*** what is the time that it was in the 1500s. The time we have right now should be the time that we have forever. We should never change again. The reason why we started changing all this was so that we'd have more daylight early in the morning because everybody was working on a fucking form. Guess what we're not doing anymore? We're not working on a form anymore. We should keep this time forever.
Forever. Thanks
so
much, Polidorus.
As a politic watcher, this is something that they've been talking about for a while, doing away with the is it fallback that we're trying to get rid of?
Yeah, we're trying to get rid of fallback. Yeah.
So people in Congress, they're not there to make things change. They're there to get reelected again. So this might never happen. But I totally agree. Let's stick with what we got going now. It gets dark later. Great. I hate walking out my shop at like 5:30 and it being dark.
Pitch black.
There's one thing, in case you mentioned that benefits the farmers that still have farms or whatever, the sugarcane people. That affects me more than anything, having to drive behind these trucks that should not be on the road, that go 15 miles an hour no matter where you're going.
Dropping all over the road.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
The roads are terrible. No, stick to what we got right now. What we talked about last week, 90-10, right? 10% of the people it affects because you can't farm. Okay, bro, don't farm. I'm going to grow my own
I don't want to go so far as to say let's not farm.
No, I don't.
Let's walk it back a little. But Tommy, what say you?
Roads. This is daylight savings time. I'm with you. That's what I want to roll with. I like how it gets dark later, stays darker early in the morning, so it leads for longer hours of day drinking, and that is my favorite thing to do. Also, it's good for sporting events that are played outside in this time, so the football games can be played during the daytime. I hate the whole spring forward, losing that hour. That is the worst week and a half. It's actually probably the worst 2 weeks when you have small children. It is absolutely miserable.
Dude, it's crazy. Like the back half of the NFL season, the 3:00 games on the East Coast, it's dark at kickoff. Like it's absolutely insane. But anyway, Kyle, the sponsor, wants to know, in our current world of college sports, money talks a lot more than it used to. What if we pulled a Sunbelt team like ULM or Southern Miss and just threw them in the SEC? Does the major conference payout, $52.5 million versus $2.8 million, boost them immediately into Vanderbilt caliber program within 5 years, or does tradition still matter and it takes longer? Tommy, I'm going to throw this into you. Know you've got all the stats and all the numbers and everything prepared. Tell us about how UL immediately would be LSU's level if they had all the LSU resources.
I did look at this question, and first off, I was pissed. Like, why has it got to be ULM or fucking Southern Miss?
Because I deleted it and put ULM.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I didn't touch it, Tommy. I'm kidding. I'm just being
no, but so because my answer was I don't know how much tradition you would say Vandy has, because obviously at least I'm thinking about football. But I don't think in any way would a Sun Belt team compete within 5 years without all of the extra resources and assets of an SEC school that they've been building for year after year. But using what you said, you give a Sun Belt school, whether it's UL or La Tech or whoever, if Southern Miss has Ole Miss's infrastructure and support and resources and training facility and dietitians and strength coaches, absolutely. They would be on par with the extra revenue and income and be able to compete with an SEC school. The way I took the question is you can't just say, oh, now ULM's in the SEC and expect them to recruit with the big dogs just because they're playing against top-notch talent every weekend. There's more that goes to building that program. You know, the stadium, the training facility. I mean, yeah, you know, UL has an indoor facility with the old Saints field and stuff. Now they're building something bigger, but it's nowhere near probably even, I don't know, Mississippi State's. And Mississippi State is probably bottom of the barrel in the SEC along with you know, Vandy in terms of that. But if you're telling me par for par, pound for pound, that you could drop everything LSU has onto UL's campus and you give them 5 years, maybe not LSU, but yeah, they would be on par with SEC teams. No doubt in my mind. I just don't see a world where that happens.
How long?
10 years.
No, I think within 5 years. If you're telling me, I mean, let's just not do LSU, UL. Let's do Ole Miss and USM. If you tell me that USM is going to have every single thing athletic-wise for football that Ole Miss does, I think within 5 years, USM would be on par with Arkansas or schools like that.
I think so. I think that's actually Alabama. Fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
We're playing NCAA tonight. UL, congratulations. You just promoted to the SEC. You're not going to start getting all the talent and everybody just because you say, hey, we're SEC dogs now, because you're still going to have to use that money, not only to pay your players, but to build your program. And you're still going to have strength and conditioning. You're not going to have all the money and sponsors and stuff that these schools have literally been cultivating for decades. That's the way I answer the question. But with this newfound wrinkle, yeah, I absolutely think you could drop a Sun Belt team and let's say we're playing Sim City and you're saying, hey, congratulations, you get Texas, you get UT's everything, carte blanche, full copy. Yes, within 5 years, that small Sun Belt, former Sun Belt school will compete in the SEC. Maybe not Alabama Dynasty, LSU top 10 every year, but they're going to be relevant. You know, they're going to beat Missouri or compete with Missouri and people like that. That's what I think.
Okay, fair enough. I don't disagree. Boys, got anything to add to that?
I think it would take a little longer because, like, you got to get the players to come. Like, you're getting a better stadium, you're getting a better, like, training facilities and stuff like that. But you're not going to be on par with them until you can compete with the lower tier of that conference. So you need players to do that. So year one, you might get nothing but 2 stars. Year two, you might get a 3-star and a bunch of 2 stars. And it until you can get the 4 stars to compete at the SEC level, I don't think you're going to be at the Vanderbilt or the Mississippi State level yet.
What's stopping you from getting them in year one?
Why would they want to come there?
Okay, you hire a good marketing team, letting them know, hey, this is exactly what we're aiming for. This is the facilities we're going to have. I'm thinking by year 2, you're competing. Year 3, you're on the mid to upper echelon. And by year 5, you're right there with everybody else.
But if they get offered from LSU, Tennessee, even Arkansas, why would they pass up on those to go to your little school that's just building?
You won't have the competition.
You want to be with something that's on the up.
Yeah, but
people don't go to losing school.
You're getting beat by 60 every week until then.
But
you get the players.
You could get a 5-star right now if the coach quits.
Yeah, BK built a defense in the portal in one off season.
So that's what I'm saying with the transfer portal. Now you're getting whatever.
Why would they want to go to your
keeping
school?
Lafayette people?
Because you're building something great. That's why you want to go.
Yeah, you could try to sell them that dream, but they could go to something that's built already
and not play.
If they got SEC resources, I think you could get some dudes. But if you're not and you're just selling them a dream, then yeah, I think but if you got SEC money, I think people just go to the highest bidder now, man. That's what it's all about now. TJ from Lockport wants to know, I love this one. Casey and Nick, tell us your favorite fake Monty Williams tweet and favorite Scotty A reaction to that tweet. I know exactly what mine is. Nicholas, go ahead.
Okay, I just went through the fake Monty thing while we were getting set up. I went through probably the last 50 or so. One that I found that I really like is fake Monty Williams on X.com. I like to go into karaoke bars and instead of singing, use that stage to let everyone know what a piece of shit Fletcher Mackel is. Big fan of that one. Also, they have a tweet that he got blocked by Scotty Alexander. That's a good one too.
So here's what would happen. Whenever I knew that Nick was on the warpath and would be attacking Scotty A, I would stay and just like volunteer to help. And then I would also, because I was running the fake Scotty A account, I would also chime in. There was one time where he had a notepad and Nick is railroading him on the fake Monty. And then I offer something. I subtweet one of Nick's tweets, something about like when I've invented the internet, it was not for people or peons like you to be here or whatever. And during a commercial break, he looks up, he sees that, he says, invented the fucking internet? What's next? And he slams his notepad down on the ground. And I was like, this has no idea that this is happening with someone who's 5 feet away from him. And he would get so flustered, so rattled. It was so beautiful. Take me back to that time. And whenever we were asking about the technology thing, he would get so rattled. Hey, Reddit's over. 35 years in the business. It's over because of one fucking loser in his basement on Twitter. It's over, Red. Oh, beautiful.
Fake Monty used to rip on Al-Farouq Aminu viciously.
Yes.
That was some of the best stuff on there.
Boat seat lips.
Yes. We got to get back into the business of trolling people and through burner accounts. We need to I guess we've grown up since then, but we need to.
Oh, I got a good idea for one.
Okay. Scotty Two Burgers from Lafayette wants to know, have you had Crispy Burger yet? And if so, how was it? I have not, but I want to just urge everybody on Facebook to relax, man. Like I see people that are critiquing it. It's a fast food restaurant. They're expecting this to be some 5-star resort restaurant, man. It's a place to get fried chicken and a hamburger, bruh. Relax, dude. God damn, that's been annoying the last few days.
To answer the question, no, I have not had Crispy Burger yet, but pretty excited to try it.
I am excited, yeah.
I'm gonna let the franticness die down a little bit when I haven't passed in that area recently.
It's been pretty bad.
Is the line ridiculous?
Yes. I passed today. They had a dude almost like Chick-fil-A serving cars in the line.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'll let that die down before I try to go there.
I haven't had it, but you got a ton of people that are trying your stuff out. Everybody wants to go because it's the new thing on the block. There's going to be mistakes. They're not built for high traffic time periods, and they're new. It's not like Wendy's where you're hiring people a year out before you even have construction on your building. They're hiring these people. They're training them up. Give them some freaking time, man.
Is this a new restaurant or is this like a chain that's they're just opening?
The menu looks like a chain, but I don't never heard of another place like that. Same. Tyrus has a question. In a developmental recreational sports league that is lacking coaches, would it work for 2 coaches to take 3 teams of 7 players and they could all practice together and learn the same stuff? It seems like it'd be a pretty good way to scrimmage often, still have meaningful practices, even if all the non-committed kids don't show up for practice. Sure. Yeah, I mean, anything that gets opportunity for the kids to get more playing time. This is an idea that I know logistically with buildings and such and manpower and such is not realistic, but I've always said that as soon as the All-Star season starts, the kids who don't make All-Stars should get the opportunity to keep playing. I know that coaches wouldn't want to do it, maybe don't have the building, but anything that gets kids more floor time, I'm for. So sure, why not?
So he's saying not have actual coaches for a team, just everybody practice together, and then when they play, just take a team and coach them?
It's just 3 teams.
2 coaches with 3 teams.
I'm getting
so kind of sharing teams.
I'm getting Alpha Omega vibes from this question, and that league in Houma is a complete that I'm glad to not be a part of anymore.
Yeah, but they're not taking the whole league. I get where he's coming from, and I know exactly what he's talking about. And that may be the way out. So what Tyrus is talking about is we're having trouble on one group getting a coach, and we're lacking one coach. And if two coaches, which I'm assuming he's volunteering me to take 3 teams, yeah, absolutely that would work. I don't see why it wouldn't. You got 2 coaches with 3 teams, and yeah, why not? I coach more kids than that at school, and it works.
Yeah, I see where he's coming from. I think it's doable. I mean, it's better than the alternative of having 2 teams of 11 players each. I think it's better than that.
I'll tell you what, one year there were X amount of kids in the league, and it was before we combined 2 age groups, and they had just enough to make 2 teams, and they would change jerseys before every game. That was a waste of time. I will never do that again. As my boy Rusty Bourne said, sounds good.
And he did clarify and then fully read the question. My bad. He says for games, it could be that one coach normally coaches 2 of the 3 teams, but if those 2 coaches ever get scheduled to play one another, the other coach would jump in to help.
Yeah, Tyler, sign us up. I'm down for 2 teams.
Hey,
Tommy, your thoughts? You're the youth sport guy now. You coach multiple teams. What do you think?
In this scenario, it actually happened. Shout out to the late, great Kim Dufresne. What he did, and it was the inaugural 13 and 14 year of Go to Meadow bidding. He drafted 2 teams, and essentially it was him and Philip Lathrop. And they were both each other's assistant coaches. We had all of our practices together, literally ran all of the same plays. In the week we were scheduled to play each other, whether in the regular season or the end of season tournament, we would separate and have maybe 4 or 5 different plays. And it was probably the most fun experience ever because literally you always have somebody good to practice against. You're not just running drills against coaches with 2 extra players because you have a team of 7. And I thought that was a pretty good deal because, like I said, they would be each other's assistants. We were never shy of having full 5-on-5 practices. It was competitive, and those games were actually hilarious because all of our plays and things we ran and sets were the same. And it was just basically, hey, y'all know exactly what each other are going to run. Who's better? And I thought that was one of the coolest things ever. So I see how it would work with 2 because it has, and at least it did. 3, I guess it would get a little dicey. Logistically, it would be a little more complex. Could it work? Possibly. But I think it might just be more opportunities for people to bitch that the guy with 3 teams has all these great players.
Yeah, but the teams are going to be drafted as just another team. It's not going to be one team that's going to be stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a super team, but somebody's always going to find a reason to bitch.
Tyrus, we no longer need a coach. I signed both of us up, so get ready.
I have 2 kids, and like that every other year they're in the same age group, and they hate playing on the same team. So a couple years ago, I took 2 teams, one for Silas and one for Victor, and that was some of the most fun I've had, coaching 2 different teams in the same age group, practicing together, scrimmaging together every practice, and then when they played, I let Claire coach one, and I coached the other one, and that was some fun games.
That's pretty cool. Tyrus wants to know, have y'all been watching the WNBA finals? No. The games are pretty exciting, and each team has a different playing style, which makes it interesting to see how they adjust to each other. The Fever's pick and roll and high-low offense seems pretty simple but effective. Have not been watching, but I will say this. For someone who's supposedly so valuable and the best player in the history of the sport, why is their team going to the playoffs without her? I don't know, but the Fever are making a push without Little Miss Clark.
So Friday night after the Bayou Sports feed cut off, most of the games are off. I was watching something on TV, and it was the end of a game. Turned it on. The post-game press conference, couldn't pronounce the name. She couldn't speak English. The person that was hosting the show couldn't pronounce her name. She couldn't speak English. I was like, what?
Like a great time.
I was done. So that's my experience watching WNBA finals.
And look, Tyrus, to your point.
Oh, wait, we in the finals?
I think semifinals.
I thought the season was over.
Yeah. Tyrus, the sets and stuff that they run, I always say this, and this goes for the women in NCAA too. Like the actual X's and O's in the women's game are vastly superior to the men's game. But I can't get into the WNBA, man. I'm sorry. I tried. I legitimately tried. I can't do it.
We made a pact back in probably July that we're done with the WNBA, and I stuck to those guns. And I thought the season was finished, or the season
getting there,
or the league just shut down, one or the other.
It's getting there. Tommy, I know your answer to this. I know you've been religiously watching the WNBA playoffs, right?
It's a big Cheryl Swoops guy.
Cheryl Swoops guy.
I'm tired of hearing about it and everything about the WNBA that's not Sophie Cunningham.
Fair enough. That's all for our Not Mott's Mailbag, brought to you by LaFouche Concert and Events Club. We are going to be back next week. We cannot wait. We should have another loaded mailbag full of questions to get you guys entertained and get you guys informed of everything happening in the world of local sports. So for Tommy on the phone lines, they're brought to you by Buzz Off, and Nick to my right, Damien to my left. This is Case Just Clear signing off. Thank you so much for listening to the Not Mott's Mailbag, brought to you by the LaFouche Concert and Events Club.
Not Mott's Mailbag. Send in your dumb questions and watch us give even dumber answers. Not Mott's Mailbag.